What's up, everybody? Let's go. You're rocking and rolling right here. Hottest show in the streets, talking your Bama football news on Monday. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of TDA, Touchdown Alabama Magazine, getting that work week started off for you correctly. Guess what, people? Fall camp, preseason practice for your Bama football begins next Wednesday. What? Yes. Next Wednesday, the football returns. The pads are popping. The guys are back out there on the field with one Coach King on the board. That's next week, next Wednesday. So excited about that. We want all of you guys getting in the chat line tonight. We're bringing you the show from the home location right here, but we want you guys in the comment section all show long. We're taking your comments, your thoughts, your conversations. Got a jam-packed show. Go ahead right now, smash the like button. Hit that thumbs up, smash the like button, get those likes up, hit that subscribe button as well. Get all your friends, family members, diehard Bama fans, casual Bama fans, consumers of Tide football to subscribe as well. That daily Super Chat go, $100 daily. Super Chat go, $100 right there. We appreciate that coming from all of you. Once again, a jam-packed show on this evening. We're going to get to a lot of different things, a lot of different aspects in honoring of fall camp, which once again coming up next Wednesday. But first and foremost, let's get into these comments here from you guys to open up the show. We got Lakeith Williams with the Roll Tide Roll. Appreciate you, Lakeith, helping us in here, starting us off on today's platform to begin to roll tide and rise up. Roll Tide family. Roll Tide and rise up. Always good to rock with you and you rocking with us as well. We got Brock RTR, nothing but the Tide. Tide starting fall camp next Wednesday. The Pats return. The football passing returns. Alabama football returns for preseason practice on next week. Stephen Hicks writes in, Roll Tide. It's time to put up a shut up by Alabama Crimson Tide is bringing the pain. Alabama football, after 3 years of no national championship, this is a hungry group that's about to take the field here in the upcoming season. The first game, August 31st against Western Kentucky inside Nick Saban Field inside of Bryant-Denny Stadium. There you go right there. We got Stunner Tino writing in. Yes, sir. So Stunner already getting in here. Appreciate all of you guys getting your thoughts in here. To start this off, Terrell Owens with the Roll Tide. Appreciate you, Terrell, joining us here on the show. My man, Don Parker, Roll Tide, and good evening, everyone. Appreciate you, Don, checking us out here on the show. Let's continue here. We got, here we go. We got my man, Christian Hughes, Roll Tide, Stephen M. Next Wednesday starts Lank 2.0 run. Yes, next Wednesday. July 31st begins the starting of Lank 2.0. Fall camp, preseason practice. We're getting a chance to see who won it, who are going to be your starters, who will be your significant marquee contributors, and who will be down the depth chart pushing for that playing time. It all starts here next Wednesday. Appreciate Christian Hughes there. We got my man L.A. Miles dropping in that $5 donation in the Super Chats. Appreciate that. For my man L.A. Miles, showing TDA and Magic City some love. You know, y'all know we got this background rocking right here. So appreciate the man L.A. Miles helping us out on a Monday. This is crazy right here. Brock RTR writes in, fall camp next week. I'm fired up. Brock, I'm fired up too. Fall camp next week, next Wednesday. Going to be some outstanding stuff. Brock continues with, I heard Amari Jefferson's making some noise. That's another freshman to keep your eyes on. I know we're all mesmerized by the 5-star Ryan Williams, as we should be, but Amari Jefferson is so smooth with it, y'all. So smooth with the routes, smooth with the hands, smooth with the speed, all of it. He's just a fluid wide receiver. I mean, the young man from Chattanooga, Tennessee, had a really good junior and senior year of high school, had over 1,700 yards receiving both years. The young man can ball. I mean, straight up. So as excited as we are about Ryan Williams, and we should be, Amari Jefferson is another young man to really, truly get behind. He will wear number 17 for your Crimson Tide, a number that was previously worn by legends such as Kenyon Drake, Jalen Waddle, but of course we know Isaiah Bond caught the Gravedigger 4th and 31, though he's now at Texas. I guess you can throw his name in there as another number 17, I guess, but that's besides the point there. Stunner Tino writes back in, Roll Tide brother. Appreciate you, Stunner, helping us out here on the show. We got GT18, RTR, Bama fam, GT18. Happy to have you in here. We got Khalil Cooper with the Roll Tide. Roll Tide to you, Khalil, right there. Nicholas Johnson writes in, love to see the media doubting us. Lank 2.0 season is going to be a beautiful thing. I'm looking forward to this year. Jalen Milroe, this offense, the offensive coaches, Kane Womack, this 4-2-5 swarm defense. How is it going to inflict pain on the opposition? July 31st, next week, fall camp. I'm ready. Let's go. Lakeith Williams writes in, they switched to morning practice. We do have a lot of early games this year. Alabama has switched to morning practice by Kalen DeBoer. So it is a good thing. I mean, you get the guys out there early. You get them doing their whole thing out there on the field before the heat of the day comes in, and they have the rest of the day to recuperate their body, hot tub, cold tub treatment, that type of thing. I mean, they also have the rest of the day to watch film, hang around with teammates, break down different things. So the early practices are a good thing for Alabama. Now, what my eyes will be on is, once I'm out there on the field taking all of that stuff in, how will it look to me, right? Because you, the Alabama Nation, are going to be getting the news from my perspective. So that's going to be intriguing. How will it look for me being out there in those morning practices? Jason Pounders writes in, Roll Tide, what city is that? It could be Birmingham, Jason. It could be Atlanta. It could be either or, man. I'm just happy we got the background right here. It could be Birmingham. It could be Atlanta. Either or, I'm just happy we got the background here. So shouts out to the TDA family for having this background made here. James Knox writes in, Roll Tide till I die, in my own words, TDA family. And he's shouting out everybody a part of the program. Brock writes in, I'm looking forward to the Tide to come out that tunnel. It's nothing like it is. When Alabama comes out that tunnel, it's nothing like it. And when they come out the tunnel onto Nick Saban Field, it's really going to be nothing like it. Honoring Coach Saban playing on Nick Saban Field. My guys, Title Towel with Will Sports, the Roll Tide. Appreciate my people. Title Towel chiming in on the show. Get into the action here. Brock RTR writes back in, if it ain't wearing crimson, y'all can finish the rest of that. So appreciate Brock with his enthusiasm. J-Dub, Roll Tide Roll. Steven, appreciate you. J-Dub hopping in here to the action. We got Stephen Hicks writes back in, Blitz, Bama Blitz, giving his own Roll Tide Willie impersonation there. Our defense is going to be monsters. I'm looking forward to this defense. Led by, guys like Deontay Lawson, Jihad Campbell, Malachi Moore, Tim Keenan, Tim Smith, Keanu Coote. Quay Russaw could have something to say about this season. James Smith as well. Looking forward to watching this entire defense. Don Parker writes in, it's time for all the talk to stop. Let's get them Pats popping. Done. That will be next Wednesday. Fall camp starts. Fall practice begins. Absolutely. Appreciate all of you guys commenting so far on the show. Stonatino writes in, yo, Steven, do you think Bama has the best touchdown celebrations all time? And who do you think will make the next iconic celebration? Bama's right there with the greatest touchdown celebrations of all time. Now, who do I think will make the next iconic celebration, Stunner? That's a good question. Jihad Campbell could. Let's see. Kobe Prentice. Ryan Williams could now. Ryan Williams could. You know what? Give me Ryan Williams. Ryan may make the next iconic celebration. Give me Ryan Williams. Let's see what he does. He may make the next iconic celebration. Let's see here. We got my man Don Parker. Steven, can we get a background with the newly named Saban Field at Bryant-Denny Stadium? Don Parker, we will work on that. We will work on that. We will definitely work on that. Get in the background with the iconic Nick Saban Field. We'll work on that. Kareem Hood 40. Hi, Steve, Rowe, Ty. Appreciate you, Kareem. Checking us out here on the show. Absolutely. Brock RTR writes in, what you think about Ryan Williams getting some early playing time? I think he's going to make plays in year one. I see the same thing. King and the board talked about it. If you're a baller, we're putting you out there on the field, regardless of classification. Ryan Williams is a baller. He's going to get out there on the field. He's done everything this offseason to put himself in position to be out there on the field making plays. But as you are continuing to get your thoughts in, people, we're going to slide right into topic number one of the conversation, and that being the Alabama offensive players that will take the biggest strides in fall camp. Bama offensive players that will take the biggest strides here in fall camp. And I got 5 right here. Number one, I think Jalen Milroe is going to take incredible strides in fall camp. We know what he is as an athlete. We know what he is as a runner. We saw him be one of the most accurate deep ball quarterbacks in college football last season. 2,834 passing yards, 35 total touchdowns. And this was with Tommy Rees calling the plays, right? Now he's got an entire offensive system around him that believes in him and wants him to show all that he's got and be himself. You've got Kalen DeBoer. You've got Nick Sheridan. You've got Jamarcus Shepard. You've got tons of offensive minds around you. So for Milroe, the biggest thing for him is that high percentage throw, that short to intermediate 10 to 15-yard pass to either side of the boundary. He's done a lot of work on that. He's fine-tuned that area of his game throughout the offseason, whether it's working with personal trainers, quarterback coaches. He was down there in Louisiana at the Manning Passing Academy, gleaning some wisdom from Archie Manning, Peyton Manning, Eli Manning. That's always good. So I think if he masters that high percentage pass throughout fall camp, Jalen Milroe is going to be 100% dangerous in terms of not just through fall camp, but in the upcoming season. But he will take tremendous strides here through fall camp. He's number one. Number two for me, running back Justice Haynes. He's ready to be the next RB1 in Alabama's offense. I know he and Jam Miller will get a lot of burn together, but I think Justice Haynes is your next RB1. Former 5-star, came in the 2023 class from Buford High School in Georgia. And here's a dude that we got a taste of him in the Rose Bowl against Michigan. He was starting to rip alive that Michigan defensive front. And for the life of us that consume Tide football, why did Tommy Rees take the ball out of his hands again? Like, there's a reason why Tommy Rees was not brought back for Tuscaloosa. There's a reason why. Tommy Rees took the ball out of Justice Haynes' hands. That's just something you don't do. And Haynes had 25 carries last year, 168 yards, 3 touchdowns, a young man that's got power, burst, speed, explosiveness, patience, can create a hole even when a hole is not there. Jump cut ability. I mean, Justice Haynes can do it all out there. And I think he's going to take huge strides in fall camp to be running back 1. He's going to take huge strides in fall camp to be RB1. So excited to see what Justice Haynes does here. Number 3 for me, Let's go to the wide receiver position and pick up Kendrick Law here. K-Law has literally been on the cutting edge of a breakout season in each of the last 2 years, right? 2022, his freshman season when he had 8 catches for 103 yards, had a good game against Ole Miss. And then last season, 15 catches for, I believe, 135 yards. You just got to put this man on the field. The Louisiana native is a Swiss Army knife to where he can do damage wherever he's at. You could literally have Kendrick Law come across the formation in motion, line up as a running back. You can give him the ball in the little end around. He can jet down the field. You could have Kendrick Law literally take end arounds, jet sweeps, little pop passes to the house. He can do that. You could have Kendrick Law play as a traditional wide receiver, and he would burn defensive backs on the field for touchdowns. You could have Kendrick Law returning kickoffs and punts. That's how dynamic he is. You have to have him on the field. I don't care in what capacity that Kalen DeBoer, Nick Sheridan, Jamarcus Shepard, that they do it, but he's got to be on the field. Like, he's been on the cusp the last 2 years of a breakout season, and this upcoming season, started with this fall camp, is his best opportunity. This is K-Law's best opportunity. So he's number 3 for me. Number 4, we take another wide receiver, Jeremy Bernard, the transfer from Washington. Now, Malachi Moore at SEC Media Days compared Jerm to former Alabama wide receiver and former second-team All-SEC performer John Mechie. That's not a bad comparison. Not at all. Especially when you think about how good Mechie was at Alabama. Mechie was sneaky, underrated good. Mechie was good. People forget, Mechie 2020, despite Devontae Smith winning the Heisman Trophy that year, Mechie had, 55 catches, 916 yards, 6 touchdowns to help Alabama win SEC championship, college football playoff, national title, and the coronavirus pandemic. Mechie the following year, career season, 96 catches, 1,142 yards, 8 touchdowns, helped Bama SEC championship that season. Mechie was really good. And when you look at Jeremy Bernard, he's got the same type of hands, body structure, route concepts, the savviness of which he executes those route concepts. So that's not a bad comparison, likening him to John Mechie. It's not. It's actually really good. So I think Jerm, and because he knows this offense under Kalen DeBoer, Nick Sheridan, and Jamarcus Shepard, we would expect for him to take tremendous strides here in fall camp. That's number 4. Number 5 for me offensively, I got to go Caden Proctor here. I really do. Coming back to Alabama after hitting the transfer portal and going to Iowa, he knew it was going to be put on him when he came back. Like, he knew the guys were going to be on him and get after him when he came back. Because you don't just walk back in to the Alabama football program and just take your spot back. You have to really earn that spot back, earn the trust of your teammates back again in the coaching staff, of which Proctor's done that. He's bought all the way back into the Kalen DeBoer culture here at the University of Alabama. So, and then Caden is working on better pass pro, working on better run blocking. His experience from last season does help him. Made the All-SEC freshman team a season ago. So I think Caden will take those strides as well in fall camp. But those are my 5. Milroe, Justice Haynes, Kendrick Law, Jeremy Bernard, and Caden Proctor. We're going to go to a break here, folks. Don't touch that dial. We're just getting you started on a Monday. When we get back, we're going to go back to the comment section. We're taking your thoughts. We're taking your comments. How do you feel? Fall camp next week. We'll get to you after this. But first, a word from our partner to the Alumni Hall. We're out here at Alumni Hall in Tuscaloosa. Oh, yeah, this. Oh, man. Gotta get this. Gotta get one of these right here. Can't rock that Bama without this shirt right here, fresh polo. You gotta also rock the all pink, like Kanye West right there. Keychains, gotta get you some keychains. University of Alabama keychains. I'm telling you, if you are a die-hard Alabama fan and you're looking for some big-time apparel, this place has got everything. We're talking shirts, shoes, sweatshirts, hoodies, cups, mugs, keychains. If you're just a Tide fan that has an itch to get more apparel, get more swag in your game, you come right here at Alumni Hall in Tuscaloosa, right here in Midtown Village. And also you can shop online. The link is in the description to get your gear right here at Alumni Hall. Absolutely, folks. Alumni Hall, shouts out to our guys, our partners, Midtown Village in Tuscaloosa. They keeping you stacked with the Alabama Crimson Tide gear, courtesy of us here at TDA. We're going to get into your comment section right here, and we're going to get into my guy. What you talking about, Willis? Roll Tide, boy. Willis is ready to go. Willis is ready to go. Willis is ready to go here for this upcoming season, starting off with fall camp. We get to more of your thoughts right here. Roll Tide. I mean, what you talking about, Willis, again? Come on, Steve. You going to play me like that? I got to you. I got to you, Willis. I got to you. I got to you, man. I got to you. Doug Parker writes in, wifey got me a Blitz, Bama Blitz t-shirt, but still need that dusty, raggedy Auburn, that dusty, raggedy hunted hayride t-shirt for the Iron Bowl. So that one right there is convenient to, see she paint over there with the Bama Standard Network right there. So appreciate Don Parker getting his thoughts in on the show. DP writes back in, we got to get over 60 here in this chat. What's up with the likes? Hit the like button. Absolutely, people. Smash the like button. Hit that thumbs up. Get those like levels raised up. We appreciate that coming from all of you. Here we go. What you talking about, Willis? Stephen M. Smith, the Marvin Constant 2024. Now, you saying me and Marvin running for the Democratic office, Willis? Marvin and I running for the Democratic? I'm going to have to get with Marv on that one. I'm going to have to get with Marv on that one, Willis. I don't know about that one, but I'll get with Marv and see what he says about that one. Kareem Hood 40 writes in, I think K-Law is going to go off. It's now his time. Bama's got to put the ball in his hands, Kareem. They got to put the ball in his hands. Kalen DeBoer, Nick Sheridan, Jamarcus Shepard, they got to put the ball in Law's hands. He's too good. He's been on the cusp of a breakout season the last 2 years. This fall camp is truly his best opportunity to really show what he can do. Because aside from Kobe Prentice, K-Law is arguably the next best Bama receiver when you look at productivity, right? So you got to give K-Law the football. What you're talking about, Willis writes back in, Parker Brailsford will be able to actually snap the ball to Milroe, so that'll help a lot. You still got the Bama Nation suffering from some PTSD when it comes down to Seth McLaughlin snapping the football. But Parker Brailsford will be much better with that. He will be much better with that. So looking forward to watching him in fall camp. But Keith Williams writes in, K-Law could be the next Isaiah Bond if we get him out. Could be, but could also possibly be a better version. Think of it like this. K-Law is actually a better blocker. K-Law can catch, can run, can make plays, can block. K-Law may be a bit better when you look at between him and Isaiah Bond. He could actually be, a bit better right there. We got Stephen Hicks who writes in, our first 3 games are going to be tune-ups to get to jail. When the 28th gets here, they're going to hear, hey, UGA puppies, we just beat you, Ramma Jamma. Hey, that's the game, Stephen Hicks. That 4th game of the season when Georgia comes to Tuscaloosa. When Kirby Smart comes to Tuscaloosa. That's the game right there. And I've said this, if Alabama lays the smack on Georgia, this team could potentially run the table undefeated. Now, you still got Tennessee on that schedule. You still got Oklahoma on that schedule. You still got, of course, LSU on that schedule. The Iron Bowl against Auburn on that schedule. That game will be in Tuscaloosa this time. But if you lay the smack on Georgia, there's a real conversation. There's a real dialogue. This team could run that table undefeated there. Let's see here. Kareem Hunt writes in, I called him Tylenol. What was I thinking? Typing too fast. Hey, Kareem, you good, man? Hey, you good, man? You all right, man? Hey, Kareem, I think you had the New England Patriots on your mind, bro. Tylenol, the former Patriots defensive back. I think you had Tylenol. I think you had NFL New England Patriots, bro, on your mind. That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. Kareem Hunt writes back in, Bernard is going to be a complete dog. He is. He can block. He can catch. He can get open. He can make plays. He knows the system. Once again, you have the Malachi Moore comparison of him to John Mechie from SEC Media Days, which a good comparison. Very good comparison right there. Don Parker writes in, O-line must improve and be much more consistent. Run the ball. Use the tight ends and get the ball in Kendrick Law's hands. But the run game is key. Get that going. It opens the entire playbook. It starts with the offensive line. Chris Kaplovich, this offensive line has got to be on its apex this season. This is the reason why Tonga Booker dropped weight. This is the reason why Caden Proctor has come back in here all the way bought in. This is the reason why Jaden Roberts is fully locked in. Wilkin Formby, Parker Browsifer, this offensive line wants to dominate and move opposing teams off of the line of scrimmage there. Stonatino writes in, Mechie would have went first round if he didn't get injured. I agree with that. If Mech doesn't get hurt, Mechie goes first round. People forget how good Mechie really was. Look, Keith Williams, Mechie was sick too. Mechie was good. That's why I'm saying the comparison to him where Jeremy Bernard is concerned is not a bad one. Mechie was really good. He was really good. Parker writes in, Williams also will need to be a factor at some point this season, but we have to be patient, give him time to grow into it a little bit. Proctor must improve his pass pro. Ryan Williams, of course, you want to ease Ryan into it. I mean, but if he's ready to take the bull by the horns completely, let the man do it. But absolutely, you want to ease him into it. And yes, in terms of Caden Proctor, the pass pro has to be better. Run blocking also. But that pass pro on the outside, especially at that left tackle position, has to be better. Jeremy Matthews writes in, I am hyped for this season. Jeremy, you and the entire Bama Nation hyped for this year. Everybody excited to see Bama take the field beginning next week here for fall camp, for fall practice. Kareem Hood writes in, Proctor will get better with weight loss. Yes, and he's dropped some pounds this offseason. He's dropped some weight. He's moving better. He's been working with Duke Manyweather and the offensive line mastermind group with Lane Johnson of the Philadelphia Eagles. So Caden Proctor's been around quality guys. He's been working out. He's been training with quality dudes. He's lost some weight, so he should be a whole lot better. Jeremy Matthews writes back in, I believe DeBoer's system is going to work in the SEC. I think so as well. He's going to have a lot of formations, a lot of movement, a lot of eye candy, a lot of window dressing to confuse, disrupt the timing of defenses. But at the end of the day, it comes back to what? The execution. Can Alabama execute these things on the field? You can have all the window dressing, all the formations, all that you want to, but if you don't have the execution as far as players on the field, it's not going to do you any good anyway. So the execution is a big thing. Greg McKinney writes in, keychains, definitely all. Get the keychains from Alumni Hall. My guys, Midtown Village in Tuscaloosa, get those keychains. Get all the gear, but definitely get those keychains. Keith Holcomb writes in, Roll Tide, y'all. Appreciate you, Keith Holcomb. Don Parker echoing the keychains. You got to get those keychains, y'all. I miss Alumni Hall. Not the same experience online as compared to going into the store. It's something about going into a store, man. I understand online shopping is a popular thing, but nothing beats, to me, and it's just me talking here, nothing beats store and laying your eyes on something. Going into the store and putting your hands on that tangible item to purchase it. Putting your hands on that tangible item to purchase it there. So I agree with that in terms of Don Parker. Let's see here. Kareem Hood writes back in with fall camp around the corner. I'm super excited. Fall camp, Wednesday of next week, people. Wednesday of next week is fall camp. So get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready. Appreciate all of you guys writing in, getting your thoughts in. Absolutely. Somebody just said, Don Parker just said, Stephen M. Smith for vice president, but Eric B. Y'all got me. Look now. Look. Don't y'all put me in that pressurous seat. Don't do it. Don't do it. Do not put me in that pressurous seat. Stephen Smith for vice. No, goodness. I have a time trying to get through my own life as it is. Do not put me in the seat of vice president right now. I'm not ready for that. I'm not ready for that. Christian Hughes writes here, Stephen M., how do you think Coach KD's offensive mind matches up against the likes of Sark and Lane Kiffin? I think it's right there and could be a step higher, to be honest. I think it's right there, Christian, Coach DeBoer's offensive mind, and I think it could be a step higher. It really could. You look at Washington last year, the number one team in the country in terms of shifts, formations, giving you different looks to create those favorable matchups. You look at what that offense did for Michael Penix Jr., for Rome Odunze, for Jalen Polk, for Jalen McMillan, and even the running back that Washington had, what that offense did for him. So I think it could be even a step higher than Sark and Lane Kiffin, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll absolutely see. But we're going to right now slide into topic number 2, folks, of the conversation. You guys continue to get your thoughts in on the chat line. So topic number 2, after we talked about the Alabama offensive players that will make those strides in fall camp, let's flip to the defensive side. Let's get our 5 defensive guys here. So number 1 for me, defensive lineman T.M. Smith. It's now or never. That's the reason why he's on this list. He's got to make strides. He has no choice, right? He's in his 5th season, 5th year. Former 5-star from Florida in the 2020 class. Now, he is one of a few players with a national championship ring from the 2020 season. I get that. But T.M. Smith has yet to have that monster breakout season that we've all kind of been waiting for him to have. This is his last shot to do it. This is his last fall camp to do it. He's got to take strides here on this defensive line. He has to. No choice. He has to. At 6'4", 302 pounds, this is a monumental fall camp for T.M. Smith. Because if it's not now, James Smith, get ready, bro. You going in there. So this is a huge fall camp for T.M. Smith. That's number 1. Number 2 for me, Keanu Koo at that outside linebacker position. I think he is next in line as the next big-time marquee, elite, edge-bending, twitchy, explosive pass rusher sack specialist. I think Coot's next in line. I mean, he got a chance to watch what Will Anderson did, what Dallas Turner did, what Chris Braswell did, and at 6'4", 232 pounds, the former 4-star from Florida, he's built with those same physical tools. He's built with those same physical traits. He's explosive upon the snap of the ball. He's very fast. He can convert speed to power. He can bend at the attack the mesh point, get an offensive lineman's head off of him, and just clobber the quarterback. Like, Keanu Cook can do that. He can really, really do that. So I'm looking forward to watching him this season. He fits the mold of a wolf backer, of a wolf pass rush specialist. So Keanu Cook, number 2 for me. Number 3 for me, Jaheim Otis on the defensive line. Yes, he changed his number from 91 to 10. Yes, he changed one letter of his name from A to E. But here is a guy that the success up front starts with him. He's made this huge body transformation, going from over 400 pounds. He's now between 315, 320. Now, this past season, 26 tackles, a couple of pass breakups, a couple of quarterback hurries, a guy that was a bit banged up a bit in spring practice. He's got to stay healthy. But when he wins his one-on-one matchups up front in this 4-2-5, it's going to open up so much for his teammates. When he wins those one-on-one matchups up front, it's going to open up a lot for everybody else to converge and to make negative plays in the opposing team's backfield and also create turnovers. This is a big fall camp here for Jaheim Otis. He's got to stay healthy, number 1, and he's got to create that action in the opposing team's backfield, number 2. The 4th guy for me defensively that's going to take some big strides here is Jihad Campbell. I mean, Campbell's ready. Jihad Campbell is ready. I mean, last season, he broke out last year. He broke out, had a big year. 67 tackles, was 3rd on the team. When he had 4 or 5 tackles for loss, 3 pass breakups, 3 quarterback hurries, an interception, returned a fumble for a touchdown against Tennessee at Bryant Denny. Campbell's ready. And at 6'3", 230 pounds, the former 5-star from New Jersey, at that sting linebacker position, he's going to have that lateral quickness, shooting gaps, making plays all over the field, coverage ability. And if Kane Womack wants to send him on a blitz, he can hit home. If Kane Womack used to want to use him on twist stunt looks to create pressure, he can hit home. Jihad Campbell can hit home. This is going to be a big fall camp for him. I know I've touched on Deontay Lawson quite a bit, but I think this is going to be a big fall camp for Jihad Campbell because the lateral quickness, the ability to shoot the gap, his athleticism, his speed, his playing with his hair on fire, thumping ability, but his ability to be an opportunist, to create turnovers, negative plays. This is going to be a big fall camp here for Jihad Campbell. And then last but not least, Damani Jackson. I think he's going to take strides here in this camp. He enrolled early for spring practice, which was a good thing for him. Had a good spring. A guy that, didn't do all that much at USC, but I don't put that on him. I put that more so on Alex Grinch and the play calling for the Trojans. He's going to have, and by he, I mean Damani Jackson will have much better coaching with Kane Womack and with Coach Maurice Linguist, working with corners. He's also the co-defensive coordinator. Damani's got the right size at 6 feet. 190 pounds, 6'1", 190 pounds from modern-day high school in California. I think Damani Jackson is going to be big here in fall camp because, to me, if you can have, you want to have 2 knockdown corners, right? But if you can at least get one starting off in fall camp and then kind of grow the other one throughout camp, and then maybe definitely use the first couple of games of the season as tune-ups for the other corner as well. I think that's what you need to do there. But I think Damani Jackson is going to have a strong fall camp, and he will make the strides necessary to be out there on the field. But those are my 5 defensive guys, right? We got Tim Smith, defensive line, Keanu Coote, outside linebacker, Jaheim Otis, defensive line, Jihad Campbell, inside linebacker, and Damani Jackson, defensive back. But we're going to take another break here, folks, on the show. Don't touch that down. When we get back, we're going to go back into the comment section, taking your comments, getting your conversations. We're going to get another quick word right now from our partners here at Alumni Hall. We're out here at Alumni Hall in Tuscaloosa. Oh, yeah. Oh, man. Gotta get this. Gotta get one of these right here. Can't rock that Bama without this shirt right here, fresh polo. You gotta also rock the all pink, like Kanye West right there. Keychains, gotta get you some keychains. University of Alabama keychains. I'm telling you, if you are a die-hard Alabama fan and you're looking for some big-time apparel, this place has got everything. We're talking shirts, shoes, sweatshirts, hoodies, cups, mugs, keychains. If you're just a Tide fan that has an itch to get more apparel, get more swag in your game, you come right here at Alumni Hall in Tuscaloosa, right here in Midtown Village. And also you can shop online. The link is in the description to get your gear right here at Alumni Hall. Oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah, we're back into the action. Get that gear. Alumni Hall, our partners with Touchdown Alabama Magazine, Midtown Village in Tuscaloosa. Appreciate those guys there. Alumni Hall. We're gonna get to more of your comments here on the show. Here we go. Here, my man Plow Jogger 1776. Howdy, everybody. Roll Tide Roll. Appreciate your Plow Jogger coming in here. Keith Williams. We need that rematch SEC championship game. And rise up. Here we go. Keith and rise up and Stevens. Well, that rematch there between Georgia and Alabama, you definitely want to have that rematch there. Hopefully that becomes something this season. From writes in, I'm like Coach Saban, what is the secondary going to be like? Everybody's got some concern about the defensive secondary, and rightfully so. It's a young group. But I think even with it being young, Malachi Moore's experience, Devontae Smith's experience, Keon Saab's experience coming from Michigan, all of that's going to help, right? All of that's going to help him play in. Absolutely. Let's see here. Plow Jogger writes in, the secondary will rock and roll this year. Talent all over the place, no weaknesses. Secondary, and then even with the youth in the secondary, when you have guys like Jalen Mbakwe, Zabian Brown, Zay Mincy, Red Morgan, Drake Kirkpatrick Jr., they all came in the spring, right? So they all got that early learning process of Kalen DeBoer, Kane Womack, Coach Mo Linguist, and Coach Colin Hitzler. They all got that early learning process coming in spring football. So even though they're young, yes, they're young, but that early learning process really, really helps them. Now, of course, it goes back to what do they do on the field when the lights come on? Because that's what everybody's thought process is. Yes, you could be a 4-star or a 5-star in high school. That's one thing. But when those lights come on and you're playing big-time college football in the SEC, what do you do then? So we will all get our first taste of that, August 31st, when you take on Western Kentucky inside Bryant-Denny Stadium on Nick Saban Field. But I'm looking forward to watching these guys in fall camp. But here we go. My man Whitwell Sports writes in, Kendrick Law is our Deebo Samuel. I've been saying it. He is Alabama's version of Deebo Samuel of the San Francisco 49ers. You just got to get him the ball. You got to put the ball in his hands, for real. My God, Jay Lee in here. It's been a long time coming, my Roll Tide family. The season is near. Yeah, it is, Jay Lee. Welcome back in the thing, Jay Lee. Been a minute. Happy to have you back in here. Jay Lee is back rocking and rolling right here. GT18 writes in, we'll be looking for the chemistry thing. If the players and coaches can develop it as the season gets going, the Tide will roll. Chemistry, connection, very important. Continuity, all of that very important. If the offensive line gels, the receivers gel, this defense gels, then it's going to be scary for everybody else in college football. Offensive line, receivers, defense, all these different things gel. It's going to be scary for everybody else in college football. And the coaching staff gelling also. So you got to have the chemistry, the connection, and the continuity going across the board here when you look at this program. Aaron McGuire writes in, keychains, got to get you some keychains. The University of Alabama, yeah, you got to get that. Now, that just rolled off the tongue for me during that commercial. I mean, I was thinking about, what could I say to really capture the moment, and that just came floating out. So, thank God for that right there. That just came up floating out right there. So that's how it was. That's how it was. Keith Holcomb writes in, Martin Houston made a great point today. He said the guys we have now in the secondary have more game experience than the ones that left. Well, that's a good point. You look at, of all the guys in the secondary that left, the only one that hurt the most was Caleb Downs. Everybody else, you could pretty much say, that didn't bother you. The only one that did was Caleb Downs. That's it. But even with him being gone, you were able to bring in Keon Saab from the portal, who's got experience from Michigan. So that was still good. Still think the secondary is going to be outstanding. Still think the secondary is going to be good this year. Appreciate all of you guys writing in, getting your thoughts in. Stunna Tino writes in, do you think James Smith can start over Tim Smith? Hey, if Tim opens up fall camp next week struggling, don't be surprised if James Smith takes him over. If Tim starts off fall camp struggling, do not be shocked if James takes it over. Do not be. This is the last shot here for Tim. So a serious question here for me. If NIL and today's transfer portal had been there when Saban came to Bama, would he been able to build the historic success he did? That's a good question, Plow. That's a tough one. I truly don't know. I think Saban would have possibly won 3 national championships, 2 or 3. But in the transfer portal era with NIL, 6? I don't think he would have gotten 6. I think he may would have gotten 2 or 3. 6, though? I don't think he would have gotten 6. Appreciate Plow Jogger. Good question right there. Here we go. Don Parker writes in, my only concern is the D-line, especially the interior. They must be grown men this year in order for this team to have success. And yes, one more thing, Eric B. for president. Okay. The offensive line, the defensive line, they've got to be bullies. Defensive line has to be bullies this year. And as much as we would like to see 1 or 2 or 3 of these guys really pop off on the D-line as sack specialists, as great as that would be, I would like to see this group as a collective effort just be straight up bullies. The whole rotation just be straight up bullies. That's all I'm asking for. I'm not asking for everybody on the defensive line to have 10 sacks. But at least as a collective unit, each guy has 3 to 4 sacks. Each guy as a collective unit, 3 to 4. And they're all just collapsing everything. Defensive line got to be bullies, though. I agree with that. Let's see. Sherrod Childers writes in, though I love the GOAT, I think this change is exactly what we needed, and Bama is going to roll. This change is exactly what Alabama football needed. It needed a fresh energy, a fresh voice. Just needed some fresh blood, right? Saban was amazing. Nick Saban was awesome. Coach Saban was fantastic, but it was time to have some new, fresh energy and fresh vibe injected into this program. And Kalen DeBoer has been and done just that. Appreciate all of you guys checking us out here. And Don Parker with the $5 donation, DP, helping us out here on the show. The first thing we must pay attention to, how this team handles adversity. And yeah, Eric B for president, even in 2024. Eric B, go ahead and get your campaign speech ready, man. Don Parker ain't coming off of it. Go ahead, Eric, and get your campaign speech ready, man. But absolutely, Don, how this team handles adversity is going to be a big deal here. Deborah Ferguson writes in, do you think Jeremy Bernard can feel Isaiah Bond's shoes? I think he can. I mean, Jeremy's fast. He's quick. He can run routes. He's got hands. He's got explosiveness. He's a playmaker. He already knows his offense that DeBoer has at Alabama coming from Washington. I think Jeremy Bernard can adequately, probably even more than adequately, fill the shoes of Isaiah Bond, who is now at the University of Texas. But appreciate you guys for everything. You guys writing in, getting your thoughts, seeing everybody getting in. Eugene Ingram writes in, Keon Keeley. Keeley's another one. Keep your eyes on him. Keeley either at that wolf spot, Keeley as a 4-eye defensive end up front. Keon Keeley's another one that's going to get some burn. He's going to get some opportunity. How does he fare, though, in fall camp? Freddie Roach talked about it. We got to turn this big man loose. I'm going to go after the quarterback. But how does he fare in preseason practice? But Keon Keeley, absolutely. He's another one. Absolutely. Appreciate all of you guys writing in here. David Williams, do you think KD will have a weekly interview show like Saban had, Hey Coach, with Eli Go? That's a good question, David. He could. But we shall see. We shall see. He could. But we shall see if that may be a route or something that Kalen DeBoer will take there. But, folks, we're going to get into right now, quickly here, last topic of conversation, this discussion here of the Crimson Tide entering preseason practice with a lot of confidence. Bama's coming into fall camp with a lot of confidence because after it's got a bad taste in its mouth already, losing the Rose Bowl to Michigan. You know, this has been 3 years in a row without a national championship. So already there's a bad taste in Alabama's mouth right now. But to put with that, how the voting went for SEC champion by the media at SEC Media Days, with Georgia being voted as the SEC champion, Bama finishing third, and then everybody picking Georgia, Texas. Well, I didn't pick that, but yeah, Georgia, Texas, people picking in the SEC championship game. And, you know, with all of that, you got the Bama players going, okay, we're being slept on. Nobody's respecting us. We finna show you how we get down, right? And it's the Alabama team that is slept on. It's the Alabama team that feels like they've been disrespected, even though they did not say that, and they need to say it. This is the Alabama team that comes out, does no talking, and just destroys everything moving. And that's the type of Alabama football we want to see this year. The Alabama football that gets out there and just completely and utterly destroys everything moving without saying a word. And I think we're going to get that version of Tide football this year, especially with the media audience or the media pundits sleeping on the Crimson Tide and Alabama wanting to prove itself that even without Saban as the head coach, it can still win conference championships. It can still be in the conversation and win, national championships. So, folks, I'm excited. I'm excited, man. This Bama team confident. This Bama team ready to go. I'm excited for fall camp. I know you guys are as well. Once again, fall practice starts off next week, Wednesday, July 31st. We got these morning practices with King and the board, and it is going to be exciting. But as always, Bama fans, you want the best in news, notes, information, coverage, material on your favorite program, that being the Crimson Tide. You can get that by accessing the Touchdown Alabama magazine app. You download the app from the iPhone App Store if you're rocking Team Apple, Google Play Store if you got the Android phone for your audio needs. Check us out, iTunes or Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Spreaker, TuneIn Radio, Overcast.fm, excuse me, or iHeartRadio. We got you covered right there. The good and gracious Lord sees fit. I'll try to be back in the studio in the Birmingham area on Wednesday, continuing the conversation that is Tide football. Remember, Bama fans, you go ahead right now and you get you that subscription to touchdownalabama.com. You subscribe to touchdownalabama.com right now to get all of your intel, all of your information. With fall camp next week, we're starting to crank out a lot of fall camp material. Get your hands on that right now. Hit that subscription tab, touchdownalabama.com. You can also subscribe to TDA Plus, the video hub. Once fall camp is back in here, we'll be back out there at practices, getting video, getting photos, getting content, really breaking down Alabama football at practice. So definitely be a part of that right there, that video hub, touchdown, TDA Plus there via touchdownalabama.com. But I want to shout out to all of you guys, the Bama Nation, being with me today on the show from the home location. Appreciate all of you guys. Thanks to all of you guys. We'll be back on Wednesday. Till next time, folks, I'm your man, Stephen M. Smith. You've been listening to In My Own Words.